All right, I got a question for you, Peter. As we draft the most intriguing figures of the next 2 weeks in the NFL, who was the last top 5 pick that came from outside a Power 5 conference? And the hint is it's a wide receiver. That helps.
How about Carson Wentz?
1 year too early. Corey Davis, 2017, from Western Michigan, I believe, taken by the Titans. I think that's the answer. Is that the answer? All right, I got it right. Yes. And it isn't even written
you
here.
go
That's
then.
I just happen to know it for a change. Wow. Oh, it's got to be Kyle Shanahan. Even if he knows what he's going to do, we don't know what he's going to do. What's he going to let on? What's he going to let us know? What clues are going to be there? How quiet is he going to keep things? And you mentioned the whole Jay Cutler dynamic with Mike Shanahan from 2006 when the Broncos just came out of the blue, traded up with the Rams to pick number 11 to get Jay Cutler. Kyle learned from his dad, don't show anything. And even when you're in a spot where there's no reason to keep it quiet, he's keeping it quiet. The betting market's all over the place on who the third overall pick's going to be. Only Shanahan knows. So I'm fascinated to see what he lets us know between now and 2 weeks from last night.
I'm going to say Terry Fontenot, the new general manager of the Atlanta Falcons, for a very, very simple reason. He's going to have more choices than I think any general manager high in this draft. He's either going to be able to sit there at number 4 and take a quarterback. He's either going to be able, or he's going to sit there at number 4 and take Kyle Pitts or his choice of, Jamar Chase or, one of the receivers, or he's going to get an offer he can't refuse. And so right in the saddle in his first draft as a general manager, to me, the most intriguing general manager in this draft, Terry Fontenot.
I'm going to go with Bill Belichick, who's the combination GM head coach of the Patriots, even though he doesn't have the GM title. He's in charge. We talked at length earlier about what they've done this offseason, where they sit at number 15. Rare that they're not in the 20s, rare that they're not in the low 20s, rare that they're not in the 30s, frankly, for the draft. They're in a position where if they do want to make a move, they could. And so as pick 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, as those happen, you're going to have that constant whirring of the when could we hear there's been a trade and the Patriots have moved up, because as you said, no one knows what the Patriots are going to do. So what is Belichick going to do? It's not like he's going to let us know, but we have to consciously and constantly be aware of the possibility they're going to make that move to try to get their next franchise quarterback.
My next pick is Justin Fields, because I think he has been on a roller coaster going back to the beginning of last season. First of all, he is one of the players who is a very big reason why the Big Ten played football. He starts a petition drive to get football going back. He has some big games, but he has a couple of clunkers against Indiana and against Northwestern. So now clearly it's Trevor Lawrence, at the top, and then Justin Fields. And then the year ends, and all of a sudden, you've got Zach Wilson who jumps up and who jumps ahead of Justin Fields. And now he's in this Netherland. We don't know if Justin Fields is going to be picked 3rd or whether he's going to be picked 12th. We don't have any idea. But as far as players and where he could go, at what level of the draft, how aggressive teams are going to be to get Justin Fields, I think he is a really interesting figure coming in to this draft.
Hell, I think I saw that Charlie Casserly, former NFL general manager, has Fields at 24, which seems just a bit lower than where Fields is ultimately going to go. I'll go Kyle Pitts, the guy that we heard from to start the segment, because he could be the 4th overall pick of the Falcons. He could be the 10th overall pick of the Cowboys. And the Cowboys, and this is kind of a hybrid for me, because when you look at all the offensive players that we're going to see in the top 10, the Cowboys have needs defensively. They basically have the first pick in the draft if it's all 9 offensive players, because they need to go defense. But if Kyle Pitts is there at 10, or if he creeps past 5, Will the Cowboys, will Jerry Jones, will he be able to overpower anyone in the organization and move up? He's infatuated with Pitts, and I'm fascinated to see where he goes. Because, Peter, I think he could go as high as 4 to Atlanta if they just decide to say, screw it, we're using the pick and we're not taking a quarterback.
Yeah, I like that one. That was going to be my next one. But my last one, Mike, is going to be Trey Lance. And I hate to just lean on quarterbacks like this, but Trey Lance is fascinating to me because, look, he's played one football game in the last 400 days. He was not very good in that football game. That football game was against Central Arkansas. And so it just reinforced a lot of people's questions about how long will it be before Trey Lance is going to be able to be a very good quarterback at that next level. And look, I think he's got a chance to be a really, really good NFL quarterback. He's got all the tools in order to do that. But the fact is, he hasn't done it against a high level of competition. He's been off basically for most of the last 16 months. And so now you look at him and you say, we need to really examine this player closely.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.